Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So most of this is going to be about Avatar Magic the Gathering stuff because of course we have a pretty big event coming up for that tomorrow, the big stream, which I'll get into talking about in a moment. We'll cover the non-Avatar Magic stuff first. So first of all, Legacy of Yangchen Paperback edition is out tomorrow, October 28th. Same day as the stream. This is just a reprint. The other books have had paperback releases. Yangchen Book 2 is now getting its one. We don't have a listing yet for Reckoning of Roku paperback, the first Roku book, but I'm assuming that's probably coming at some point soon-ish. But just worth noting that, yeah, the books are getting paperback releases. Next, Voyage of the Unity on Kickstarter have posted a new update. So this, of course, is the next Avatar Legends book that is coming out, the role-playing game set in the Roku era about the Unity. We now have the official character design for Uzuku Yuyan, and they're asking for testers for people who more play the game. Well, we're more focused on this. Uzuku Yuyan is one of the legend NPCs as part of this release. She was covered briefly in the core book, so we know a little bit about this character. Obviously, notably, the Yuyan name there means that she is part of the Yuyan Archers, though this is kind of pre-Yuyan Archers because that's like a military kind of part of the Fire Nation military. She is the character that seems to be there to kind of bridge the gap between sort of like, in a way, how the Fire Nation military got Yuyan Archers involved. Her story seems to be about like her being conflicted about if she should share the secrets of her amazing archery skills with the Fire Nation military or not. We don't know the details in terms of what exactly happens because we know they get the Yuyan Archers. So does that mean something happens to Uzuku Yuyan? Sozin in this era is known to be quite like manipulative and cruel, so does something happen there? Do people go around her back to get other Yuyan Archers onto their side? We just don't really know, and hopefully the book goes into a little bit more detail on that, because even the Yangchen books covering some of the details surrounding Jujinta didn't quite go into a lot of depth on what the whole Yuyan situation is. There's clearly something going on, but they have a very specific way in which they teach archery that highlights it as being more of a spiritual art form rather than just a technique to like inflict violence. And that's part of her worry, is if she teaches the military this, will the core of what she values in the technique be lost? We have to wait and see. But exciting stuff. I really do like the design here. These are always a fun part of the RPG books, is to see which characters get the focus, because the Legend NPCs are effectively the main characters of a specific era, and here is one for Voyage of the Unity. Next though, we'll get into the start of our Magic the Gathering stuff. Like I said, there is a big stream coming up here that is going to kick off spoiler season for the Avatar set. So they're calling this the debut stream for Avatar Magic the Gathering, and it's coming up tomorrow. So October 28th, it's going to be at 10 AM Pacific time on the official Magic YouTube and the official Magic Twitch. So adjust this time to your own region so you can catch this, though it will be available on video on demand afterwards if you do miss it. And then I will also be doing a video to cover this as well if you can't view it yourself. But it's exciting. We're going to get more card reveals here. I would also suspect that we'll get the full reveal probably on the Ultimate Guard Avatar Magic the Gathering accessories. So they'll probably reveal all of that stuff in tandem with this, or at least just mention that it's something that's going to be coming up, because there's only a few weeks before the set is out and they need to actually properly announce that stuff. We'll get into we have a little bit of information. We've seen a little bit of it, but they still need to reveal most of it. The other thing, in addition to card reveals, that I think they'll do will be if they are doing any secret layer releases for Avatar Magic the Gathering. I'm assuming they will talk about that here, at least tell us when those secret layers will be going on sale. They've been doing secret layers for kind of everything, so I'd be very surprised if they don't do secret layers here. It's hard to predict what exactly they could be. This could be a way to add Korra characters in if you want to, but the Korra license is a bit of a separate thing because this is specifically Avatar Magic the Gathering. That would be something kind of different. I can see them maybe offering some fancy lands in addition to the kind of two types we have in the main set. Some crazy foil ones that maybe lean more into the elements would be kind of interesting. Otherwise, I'm not really sure. Just maybe some reprints for Commander in addition to the stuff the Commander bundle has. I'm not really sure. We'll see what they do. So all that stuff will probably come out here or as part of the whole preview week after the stream. Because this article details what they're doing here, which is that basically between the 28th all the way up to November 7th, when the full card image gallery will be available, they're doing spoilers. Like there's going to be reveals over the course of pretty much all of these days. So you can see here on the 28th, tomorrow, there's going to be the debut stream, but also via other outlets officially from Magic, their news account, as well as their kind of weekly MTG kind of show. They'll also have card reveals, and then one kind of influencer basically is going to have some card reveals as well. Content creators, Dark Pact Cosplay. So that's interesting. And then as you go through, you can see it's a mix of certain websites are getting certain reveals, certain content creators, Magic websites, Magic YouTubers, Magic podcasters, all are getting the reveals as we go through the various days. There's more on some days than others, like there seems to be quite a lot on Halloween, which might be when they actually do the Hama or Puppet Bender, Puppet Master card reveals surrounding maybe Bloodbending. That would be kind of cool. Also, you can see Paramount is here, so that's interesting. That I guess is maybe the official Avatar accounts primarily, because it'd be weird if just the Paramount account dropped a spoiler, but we'll see how that goes. And of course, it does highlight that most of this is being done by Magic content creators, and they don't seem to have really involved Avatar content creators in this. So just interesting. It probably makes sense for them to do it that way, go with the people that they know, that sort of thing. And yeah, you can see it's happening over the course of all the days. Though interestingly, there's not really anything happening on the 1st and 2nd of November. Though we'll get into one thing that is happening on the 1st in a moment. But yeah, that's the way the card reveals are going to happen. The way I'm probably going to do my coverage is that I am going to do a video after the stream tomorrow. And then I think for the most part, I'm just going to cover a lot of like what gets revealed over the gradual days on my Twitter account. And then when we have the full card image gallery, I will do full videos going over the full card list, probably color by color. There will be probably long, kind of detailed videos going over everything. But I think that's the best way to do it, rather than trying to cover gathered groups of cards in a bit of a random fashion. I think it's better to wait and do them in a more organized fashion. So we'll get there. Then we do have some early card reveals as well. The official Avatar Instagram got to reveal this. This was the Avatar Legends Instagram. Revealed all the different card versions for the Sozin's Comet card. So the one in the middle is, of course, your standard border, standard art. The one on the left seems to be the borderless mythic rare foil version. And then I'm not actually sure what the exact art treatment for the one on the right is meant to be. Is this meant to be like Field Notes Sozin's Comet, or will this be a different type of card that they reveal to us? I'm not really sure. But either way, what this card does, it's a mythic rare sorcery, Sozin's Comet, 3 red, for 5 mana overall to cast this. Each creature you control gains Firebending 5 until end of turn, and it also has Foretell for 2 and a red. So the Foretell part of the card is basically just a slightly different way in which you can cast this card. You can choose to either pay the 3 red and a red and cast it just like any normal spell. That's fine. What you can also do is you can pay 2, exile Sozin's Comet face down, so you're aware that it's there. And then whenever you want to on one of your turns, you can then cast the card by paying 2 and a red. So you're still paying 5 mana overall, but the casting cost is slightly different. It's 4 and a red instead of 3 and 2 reds. And it's, doled out over the course of different turns. So this is a way to, for flavor-wise, to present the idea of the comet, foretelling its arrival, but also setting up for maybe a big turn when you eventually do want to use Sozin's Comet, where you only cast it for 3. On the turn you actually use it, you have more mana to use when you do properly go off. Now the actual core of the card, of course, is giving all your creatures Firebending 5, meaning when you attack, you will generate 5 red mana that will only last during the combat. That means that you have to use all the mana during the combat at basically instant speed, but there are a variety of ways in which you can do this. I think it is a powerful card, but it's one of those cards that requires you to be in a, I think, pretty decent position to kind of win the game. Like, this card probably will get you over the line a lot of the times. It's just you do need to be in an okay position beforehand. Like, you probably want to cast this with at least three creatures on the board, because if you only do it with 1 creature, you're not really getting too much of an advantage. 2, you're gradually getting there, but because you are forced to attack to generate the mana, that might not be the most ideal situation. So you have to really be in a good spot for the attacks to work out in your favor, and the cards that you have to use with the mana are also in your favor. So it's maybe not as like absolutely crazy powerful as you think, because it probably requires quite a bit of setup, but it's a really interesting and flavorful card design overall. As for like what you can do with it, Faded Firepower of course comes to mind. Let's say you have 3-4 creatures on board, you have 15 to 20 mana to use. You can cast Faded Firepower where X is 17, where X is 12 or something like that, and just get a ton of damage over the board if your attacks are actually going to be quite strong. Otherwise, you might want to maybe only play this for like a smaller cost and use most of the mana for other stuff, like maybe Zuko Exiled Prince, where you can see he has a 3 mana activated ability, which you can use multiple times if you have the mana for it. Exile the top card of your library and you may play that card this turn. This seems ideal for having a lot of extra mana, which is cool. Fire Nation Archers, the Yuyan Archers, conveniently, have this effect. 5 mana, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you create a 2/2 red soldier creature token. So you could play, if you had 4 creatures on board, you activate this 4 times, you now basically double the amount of creatures you have, and you're dealing damage to your opponent. That's strong. This is more of a kind of classic effect, but just, you know, boosting the amount of power you have with +1/+1 counters. And you can do that a bunch of times as well. And I assume there will be a lot more different types of effects as we get more red cards and the rest of the set gets revealed. They're just some examples of like, hey, if you do end up in a situation where you have like 30 mana or something like that, you can build your deck to have a lot of creatures that have effects like this, where the mana will not go to waste. So that's actually quite good overall. And then from Mark Rosewater's teasers, we know that there is going to be a card that makes it so that like your mana doesn't go away in between steps. So if you'd used Sozin's Comet with that card, whatever it is, that would allow you to, you know, keep everything kind of in play overall. I'm guessing that that's probably going to be another Sozin's Comet type of card, but we'll have to wait and see on that. So there is that. There was also this card reveal here, the Volcano of Roku's Island, which is a reprint of the card Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle. Now this is one of the 61 source material cards where they're doing 1 card representing each episode of Avatar. 61 episodes, of course. This is the one representing the Avatar and the Fire Lord. So this is a land, it enters tapped. Whenever a mountain enters, if you control at least 5 other mountains, you can have this land deal 3 damage to any target, and it taps for red. Very nice. That's what you want to do in red, is to just gradually do damage over time, and getting to do that damage by just playing lands is very good. It's also, I think, pretty flavorful. I like the choice here. I think the problem that a lot of people have with these, and I would agree with it, is that these are just screenshot cards. These use screenshots from the episodes, and they don't look great because Avatar is an old enough show that like it's not in like HD. And this feels like a little bit of a blurry screenshot that they've kind of used. It's maybe not super ideal, full stop. I think that the one point that works in its favor is just that, like, why it's not super bad, is just that it's 61 cards. This is like the bonus sheet basically for the set. You're not going to see these cards in packs super regularly, so I don't think you're going to be overly distracted by the art quality feeling like it's a step down from everything else in the set. It's a specific group of reprint cards that are kind of there to maybe be some of the more chase cards, primarily because they're reprints. And I don't mind that this is maybe the way they've gone with it, is just like, okay, one screenshot card for each episode, that's fine. So long as we're not overly using screenshots anywhere else in the set, I think it's okay. And we'll see what they do and what cards do get reprinted. It's interesting. Then we get into accessories. Like I mentioned, there's a little bit of information on accessories. So Spiel Essen was going on, a convention in Germany for gaming stuff. Ultimate Guard was there. They had a lot of the Avatar stuff on display. But interestingly, it seems like they were quite careful about spoilers. I think they were only using the beginner box, I think, to do the decks, as far as I'm aware. And then in terms of the accessories, I think they were also careful to only have out the accessories for cards that were already revealed. So I don't think we even got any art reveals or anything like this. So you can see here, we're going to get card sleeves for this specific art of Appa, which is exciting. There's also, you can see in this picture here, there's a Toph Metal Bender playmat, there is a Cabbage Merchant playmat, and you can find other people who have other pictures of this. It's not super clear out there what exactly is going on, but you can see, I summarized the information here. Card sleeves for that Appa, but also this Momo. This Momo will be available on card sleeves. And then I saw playmats featuring Aang, Toph, Aang's Iceberg, and the Cabbage Merchant. So that is this Aang, this art of Aang. This art of Toph, this art for Aang's Iceberg, and of course it's this art for the Cabbage Merchant on on playmats. Now again, Ultimate Guard, based on the listings, have about 50 Avatar products. I think like 20 of them are playmats, like 15 of them are deck boxes. The other stuff is, I think they have a couple of zip folios at a few different sizes, and you know, the art sleeves as well. But most of the products are the deck boxes and the playmats, and there is going to be a big variety of options based on what is on those listings. Again, I assume we will get most of those reveals either during the Magic stream tomorrow, where I assume they'll explain what the full situation is with Ultimate Guard, or they'll at least tease some of the stuff and then allow Ultimate Guard over the course of the spoiler season to maybe reveal their stuff. Because the final piece of information we have is Beetle and Grimm are offering this Avatar The Last Airbender Deluxe bundle. Now, of course, they are doing their own Avatar The Last Airbender Magic the Gathering token set, where we've seen bits and pieces of this before, but this is a bundle with Ultimate Guard stuff that is exclusive Ultimate Guard stuff. There will only be 1,000 of this set produced. It is numbered. It's going to go on sale on November 7th at 9 a.m. Pacific. And we'll see images and video of this stuff on November 1st. Now, that is one of the open days on the schedule where they're not doing any card reveals. So maybe the 1st and 2nd of November are where they're doing the full accessory reveals. That would be kind of cool. And it includes this stuff. So we'll get maybe a full proper look at the token set. There's an exclusive playmat that they're going to have here. Exclusive Sidewinder 133 Plus deck box. And an exclusive full art card sleeves. So that's interesting that they're just, Ultimate Guard are offering like literally like only 1,000 of these specific items. Feels a bit weird. It's quite a low amount. I get it's meant to be an exclusive thing, but like that is very low for something that's probably going to be in very, very high demand. Again, a lot depends on what it actually looks like. What cards are they depicting here? What characters are they depicting here? And again, what's the pricing on this going to be like? But we'll see. Ultimate Guard stuff is pretty high quality. I'm going to see what this is like. I'll get it if I can and the price is right. But I'm not going to be, I think, too pushed if I can't get a hold of this. But yeah, that is everything. We're all, of course, just waiting for tomorrow for the Magic Reveal stream to get some new card reveals, to start off the spoiler season, to gradually get to the set release next month. And like I said, I'll do a video tomorrow covering everything on the stream. And we'll see how the spoiler season goes from there. But yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.